Gonna propose to Liz.
He burst onto our screens in Sunshine on Leith
Where you going?
and found global fame in J.K. Rowling's Fantastic Beasts. But Kevin Guthrie's career is over. Today, he took his last steps of freedom for 3 years. Guthrie sexually assaulted an actress who was distressed and unwell at a flat in the West End of Glasgow in 2017. The judge described it as a heinous crime as he placed Guthrie on the sex offenders register for life. His victim has waited 4 years for justice.
I have to give thanks to her for opening this dialogue. She's an incredible human being. 4 years of her life being on hold, but what she has done is create a dialogue and a conversation that is so needed and so important, and just her bravery astounds me.
When the guilty verdict was read out, the actress who reported Kevin Guthrie received an outpouring of support online. Many women working in the theatre and film industries shared their accounts of abuse and called on industry figureheads to do more to protect them.
If you wanted to raise your voice about something that you feel isn't quite right, the precarious nature of our industry generally means that you kind of go, well, I could say something, but what if I don't work again because of that, because I'm perceived as difficult? I would say broadly, my experience has mostly been positive because I've been fortunate enough to work with good people, but there have been moments across my career where I'm like, that wasn't so great and I didn't do anything at the time. The way I am now as an older woman and can kind of look at the culture we exist in with a more analytical eye, and I'm like, that wasn't so great, and there was no form of protection for me. I just had to kind of move on and get over it.
I've been finding out how serious the problem is. Theatre maker Rosie Priest says most actresses working in the industry have seen a list of powerful men to avoid.
And that cult of celebrity really protects people, but that cult of celebrity runs deeper than just the people you see on stage. So directors, writers, choreographers even, CEOs, they all have this immense amount of power. We know that unfortunately 1 in 4 women are going to experience sexual violence in their lifetime, and that sexual violence isn't to do with intimacy, it's to do with power. And as a sector that is really founded on unequal power imbalances, a very small number of people holding a lot of power, it means that predators, abusers, bulliers, harassers can thrive within that sector.
One of Scotland's best-known actresses is also president of the Actors' Union.
The world I'd like to see is the world that is so unused to that kind of behaviour that it's an absolute shock when it happens. As opposed to the revelations recently, it's not, it is, of course, it's shocking, but it's like, well, there you go, it's still going on.
Is this your last day as an innocent man?
It's now 4 years since MeToo and the fall of Hollywood giants Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein and Kevin Spacey. But still, not enough has changed.
We want to give support to everybody, to support those who need it the most in our industry, and we do that whether we're realising it or not, just by listening to each other. And I think it's extraordinarily important that we readdress this abuse of power.
A dramatic fall for a man once a promising young star. Today, a victory for all those fighting the abuse of women at the hands of powerful men. Polly Bartlett, STV News.